What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Transparency. What is it? Tuesday night, right before midnight. They say after midnight. Love me a late night live with Lana. Yes, look out. We are doing this. So sorry. When I had scheduled it, it automatically thought I was talking about the next day because they're like, Lana doesn't go live this late. Oh, Lana's going live. My schedule has been all crazy. We're doing like mass work over here. We are going to expose some serious corruption, guys. You have no idea what's in store. I mean, I do. You guys know. I want to expose some serious corruption. So that's what I'm going to plan on doing. I've probably slept 5 hours a night. Maybe less. So late. Welcome. Come on in. All right. First of all, let's hear from the lawyer in his interview. And then I told you guys that manifesto was bullshit. Told you that had nothing to do with that boy's mom and didn't make any sense. It had nothing to do with his life. The stuff that was out there on some whatever the hell it was. But I believe we have the real one. So, but first, let's hear from his lawyer, and then because we got to talk about some things here. This lawyer is like, hey, there is nothing that points to him being the, CEO manhunt killer. So let's see what's up. Let's go. Again, good evening. Let's go with this one. Yep, that's what I want. Thank you.
Did, and I'm pleased with our relationship. I think we've made a strong bond, and I'm looking forward to moving forward, helping him out.
How will you approach?
I really don't want to get into that.
Is he saying he's innocent at this point?
He doesn't want to get into how he was approached.
He has indicated pleas of not guilty. The only charges that we've seen thus far have been the ones here in Pennsylvania, and we have pled not guilty to those charges. And
what's his state of mind?
I really can't get into that. That's too speculative. I'm not going to get into that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear from here. You said he has said he's innocent so far?
Oh, yeah, we pled not guilty, at least to the charges in Pennsylvania. Like I said, I'm not aware of any actual charges in New York. If you were in the hearing earlier, there was a proceeding where they introduced some documents, which, as I complained about, didn't have enough information for me. So we're looking forward to getting that additional information.
When did that plea happen? It's not something that I was aware
of. Okay, well, hopefully, again, I was not at the arraignment yesterday. I hope he pled not guilty. I assume that's what happened. But today, when I entered my appearance, and for the record, he's pleading not guilty to those offenses.
So he is. I was at the hearing. He did not say that he was not guilty or make that plea. So right now, though, you're telling us that he is pleading not guilty.
That is correct.
He doesn't say you are under the impression, or you're trying to defend the client on the fact that he is not the shooter.
Listen, I haven't seen any evidence that says that he's the shooter. So that's like I said earlier, and I wasn't kidding around. A couple of things: if you're going to report something, report it accurately, and remember. And this is not just a small thing. The fundamental concept of American justice is a presumption of innocence, and until you're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And I've seen zero evidence at this point, and so I'm not even aware of what any charge.
I'm sorry, that's just regarding the extradition request from.
Well, the only hearing today was the extradition, so we're going to take one step at a time. It's a long process.
Can't be the photos the police released, the NYPD release of him.
I'm sorry?
The photos the NYPD release of your client.
I don't have any control over what the NYPD does. And if they release something, I hope I can get my hands on them. And if you guys get them, send them to me. I'd appreciate it.
Clarify something.
I like him.
In the state of Pennsylvania about the charges here. When did that happen?
Well, he has a hearing coming up. I believe it's the 20-something. I can't recall a lot.
23rd.
So until they haven't even had a prima facie case established yet, so they have to have a prima facie case established before they can the case can move on to the Court of Common Pleas. The burden is always on the government, thank God. And that's their burden, and they're going to have to produce some evidence, and we're anxious to see it.
Understanding that you have said you have not seen charges coming out of New York yet, that if and when there are, and you have seen them, will you be pleading not guilty to those as well?
That would be my expectation. That certainly would be my advice.
Your client's demeanor the past 2 days with the arraignment and again today at the hearing. At some points he was, smiling, laughing. You even had to actually tell him to stop talking. Well, what are his feelings right now? I mean, he seems outspoken.
Well, all I can, he's obviously, I said earlier, use your common sense. If you put yourself in, you or a loved one in that position, it's, natural, I think, to go through many emotional states. As far as him not talking, as long as I'm going to be the lawyer, I'm going to do all the talking. My client's not going to say anything.
A quick question about process. I was also at the hearing last night. I don't remember any plea being asked for or entered.
Okay. As long as he hasn't pled guilty, that's all I care about. So.
In the Blair County case, it's just not.
Well, I'm telling you, as his lawyer, he didn't have any lawyer of record, and he didn't have any representation until I got involved this afternoon. And I'm telling you, he's pleading not guilty to each and every.
When does that plea normally happen? At the first hearing?
Like I said, normally that could happen at the what happened last night at the informal arraignment, which is at the magisterial district judge.
So is he telling you this is all some sort of awful mistake?
I'm not going to talk about anything he's told me.
How do you end up in Altoona?
I'm not going to talk about that.
Has he been able to contact his family since?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that either.
Can you tell us when you were hired?
I can say sometime prior to the hearing this afternoon.
So you were hired.
That is correct.
If Governor Weechel provides this governor's extradition thing, does that change the timetable here? You still have the right to a habeas hearing, don't you?
Yes, sir, we do. Like I said, and I'm not trying to be, it's 24. I'm not trying to be a smart ass or anything, but when we've got to wait until we see things. When things happen, we'll react to that and proceed accordingly.
Since cameras weren't allowed in the courtroom, which is normal and fine.
In Pennsylvania, that's the law.
Would you be able to give us a summary of what it is that happened in the courtroom today?
Yeah, today is basically what it was, and it happened fast. There was an extradition hearing scheduled. I found out about that about an hour or so before the hearing, and the initial thing is a person can waive extradition, and it was my opinion and my advice under the circumstances that he not, and I emphasize the not because apparently there's news reports already going out that he waived his extradition. He did not do that. And so that's why we wanted to make sure we're going to use the process and use the Constitution and the rights that are available to any one of us in this room and any American citizen or person charged with a crime. So we're going to move forward.
You argue that he should not be eligible for, or I'm sorry, that he should be eligible for bail. Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk about some of those reasons.
Yeah. So in Pennsylvania, the Constitution says that all crimes are generally a bailable offense. Bailable offense means you have to set some form of bail. The exception to that is if it's a capital case, which means the Commonwealth or the government is looking for the death penalty. And I'm proud to say I'm one of the few attorneys in Pennsylvania that's qualified to do death penalty cases. But those which this is not a capital case, knock on wood, at least that I'm aware of it right now, or if a first degree murder, which carries in Pennsylvania life without parole. If the charge which you're faced with is life without parole, then you're not eligible for bail. Since the crime, at least what was set forth by the district attorney, was alleged to be a second degree murder, that's not life without parole. So I believe that bail should have been set.
But you also talked about like a home monitoring system was a possibility. His lack of prior criminal history. I mean, you really feel that your client should be out in the public. You do not feel that he's a threat to the community.
Yeah. Now you got to understand, when you set bail, the judge could set $1 million bail. It could be $5 million bail, but damn it, you get bail. That's what you do.
Damn it,
And
you
like I
get
said,
bail.
every time you look at the criminal justice system, pretend you're that one in that spotlight. You're going to want to be out. And, so yeah, I think he was entitled to bail, and the judge makes it 100 million or 10 billion or 100,000. He's entitled to bail, but to simply say no bail, in all due respect to the judge, I believe bail should have been set.
During the hearing yesterday, he implied that some of the cash that was found on him was planted, or he didn't know what it was to do with. Can you speak to that at all?
I can't because I wasn't at that proceeding.
Is your client being held in solitary confinement?
I can't comment on that. I do not know.
What is the procedure the next couple of days? What do you go to do? What is going to happen?
I'm not going to get in a lot of detail. I do have some things planned, but I can't get into that because I don't think that's what attorneys do.
So are there any other court proceedings in the next day or two?
Not that I'm aware of. I hope that since I'm the attorney of record, that they let me know about it.
Earlier today, you talked about the masks possibly being related to coronavirus. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, I don't know where you all are from, but I still see people wearing masks. They say numerous masks. A lot of times when you buy masks, you got to buy them. They don't. I guess you can buy them individually, but every time I bought them, they come in boxes. So I don't know. Oh, I can tell you that's not a crime. It's not a crime. I would not ever indicate anything that he indicated to me.
What's
I
his
can't
It's
do that.
demeanor
it's client attorney privilege, you people.
Well, I'm not going to speculate on that, but like I said, use your common sense. If you were in a jail or confined in a state where supposedly there's rumors going around you're going to be charged with murder, use your common sense.
Well,
What
you
can you
talked
tell
to him.
us about your client?
What's that?
What can you tell us about your client?
Probably not a whole lot.
What were your first impressions of him whenever you met with him or spoke with him for the first time?
I'm not like the airplane movie said. Hey, give us your impression. And the guy says, I don't do impressions. So I don't.
I
wasn't
love
looking for
this
impressions.
man.
What I was trying to do was form a bond with my client. I want him to trust me, and I want him to be confident that I'm here for him. And I feel that I'm very pleased how that went.
How about you?
Excuse me, ladies first.
Excuse me, ladies first.
Sorry, how is both his mental and his physical health? Online, he appeared to frequently discuss a spine injury he may have had. And do you think that could have contributed to some sort of
Yeah,
mental breakdown?
I'm an attorney. I'm not a physician. I would only be speculating. I'm not going to do that.
What's the benefit of not waiving extradition and going to New York County?
There's a ton
There's
of
a lot
benefits.
to that. It would take too long for me to get into all that.
Yeah,
It's,
are you insane? Read a
it's,
book.
We're
Go read a
testing the
book.
process. I haven't seen anything. I have not seen one
What's up,
scintilla,
girl?
one speck,
What's
one
up,
drop of any
girl?
evidence yet. So it's what I decided. I think that it was in our best interest to do
Can
today.
you clarify if he will plead not guilty to the murder charge?
Well, he had, from what I've
Hi,
seen, up to
Julie.
this point, he hasn't
You
been
big
charged with that.
girl.
Okay, he hasn't been charged with that. But if in fact he would.
You guys, I'm inviting Tom Dickey. Thomas Dickey is invited to Christmas motherfucking dinner. Can you imagine? I bet you he's just give him some of that old homemade Italian wine. Woo! He'll be telling me all about his client.
Would be charged with that. I would anticipate. Again, I don't really want to speculate. But if in
Okay,
fact
Miller
that would
making it
happen, I would-
rain.
I would anticipate a plea of not guilty.
Are you able to represent him in New York for the homicide charge?
If that would happen, that could be a possibility.
Will you accept public donations from those seeking to fund his defense?
don't.
What? Oh my god!
Are you fighting the extradition?
As long as it takes to do it effectively and competently.
Confidently. I love when people
So,
say that.
Just to confirm, you are also barred in New York?
No, but you can get admitted because I've been doing this for 41 years. You can get admitted there. So, but like I said, I don't want to speculate about anything. If that opportunity would present itself and that would come out, I certainly would consider.
Why did your client come to Altoona?
I'm not
That's where the bus took
Any
him.
ties to him? I was
not
told.
going to comment on that.
Could you comment on what type of money that foreign currency was?
The what?
The what?
No, ma'am, I could not because again, I wasn't there. I haven't seen anything yet. I don't like to go by in all due respect to you folks, what I hear in the press. So now that I'm on board, I'm going to find out.
You can talk to him about it in New York.
Again, I'm not going to get into what my client and I talk about.
Have you spoken to his family?
Not going to get into anything about that.
Are you going to follow any motions of any sort anytime soon?
I anticipate doing that.
Did you object to him going up to SCI Huntington? Should he be here? in
There you
the
go.
County lockup?
that's an administrative thing. That's at the bottom of my priority list right now. As long as he's safe and all that stuff, and I'll
He's
deal
under
with that.
suicide watch?
Pardon me?
He's under suicide watch?
I don't know that, and even if I did, I wouldn't comment on it.
Sir, can you just,
Because they do that a lot of times in some institutions, just as a matter of procedure.
Sir, can you just repeat? I'm sorry, folks are watching this all over the country and they're having questions. Can
Is
you,
that why all your cameras are here?
can you just, help us understand what do you expect him not to plead guilty to? Is this the murder charge or the charge?
This is awesome.
If you charge a person, if the government charges a person with a crime, they have to prove that. Okay. And they have to have some evidence. All right.
Yeah.
So, we got it. Like I said, you can look on this table and here's all the evidence I have right here. Zoom in. I suppose you want to it. Nothing. I've seen nothing. I have nothing. And,
Yeah.
and we'll get that. And we'll
So
get
what is he pleading not guilty to? What charges? Both?
every charge. Every charge.
Every charge. Soup to nuts.
Every charge.
What about the money?
But what
Money.
It was $8,000 that was found in him.
I'm not commenting on that again. Like I said,
What about the money? What kind of question is that? Who are these hobos in that room right now? Who are asking these questions? What about the money? Excuse me? He's like, what about the money? What are you talking about? Dude, how do these people get these press passes? They probably don't even have press passes. Who needs a press pass? Welcome to Truth and Transparency. Good evening, guys. This is great. I like a hell of a pick here. Whoever said to go get freaking Mr. Dickey, sign me up.
I said, I don't know anything about money other than what I've heard from you guys, and I will get to the bottom of that. And figure it out.
taking a step back for a second, you, but stick with the
Okay, sorry.
When you saw news of the shooting last week that the CEO of United Health had been gunned down in the streets of Manhattan, what did you personally think? What was your reaction?
I'm a lawyer. I'm a criminal defense lawyer. I don't have a whole lot of time to watch news. I just look at glances and I won't comment on
When
that.
did you hear of it?
I can't even remember.
Have you done any investigation yet?
I'm just really kind of basically got in this thing today, so I'm going to.
Truth and
Doing some of that.
Can
Transparency.
you clarify who hired you?
No, I cannot.
JLR.
I will not. I can, but I will not.
Are you aware of the statement the defendant made when he was being escorted into the courthouse today?
Well, I've heard some different versions of that. So I need to see what that statement was and all that stuff. But hopefully there won't be any more of that.
Your visits will be up there in Huntington?
I do not know. Sometimes I can get the court to arrange for him, for not just him, for a client to be transported back to Blair County.
We understand that there have been some threats made to local restaurants, local establishments, even the local police and their building. Have you and your office, your staff here received any threats of that kind?
No, I hope not. But no, I'm not aware of any.
I'm
heard
being
that just,
threatened.
I don't even know where I heard it in the last half hour on my way back to my office, but I don't know. I think what I did, and maybe I think I saw some transcription of District Attorney Weeks' press conference. He mentioned something about people being threatened. I hope not. I mean, that's not what we should be doing as Americans.
When do you expect to talk to your client next?
Soon.
Soon.
Are you going to attempt to delay the December 23rd prelim? Is that enough time?
That's a good question. I do not know that yet. That could be a possibility.
I already put my resume in.
Have a current physical injury of any kind to his back?
I already put my resume in to ask if I could be his official freaking intern for this timeline. Hey, let me do your timeline. What's up? What do I get? What test do you want to give me? Let me get your documents in order. This guy is my kind of people. Okay. Like, I just love it. And I'm sure everything that I love, I'm sure mainstream media hates. So I could imagine that mainstream media is already like, man, blah, blah, blah.
I'm not going to comment on anything personally related to my client.
You can't really.
What happened in court when you told him to keep quiet?
I
Keep
shut
quiet.
his mouth. Which is good. That's what he needs to do. Right?
There you go.
For you to tell them to be quiet.
I thought I heard his voice. So that when I heard that, that triggered me to shut up.
Shut up.
How long
That's
have
just-
you been practicing?
this is my 41st year.
A 41st.
Where did you leave it with him? Are you going to talk to him tomorrow?
I may, but definitely soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Anything else? Thank you guys. Like I said, I appreciate your patience. Yes, Thomas M. Dickey. Thomas M. Dickey. And then, so I appreciate everybody. Sorry the weather is what it is.
Thank you for your time.
I appreciate you guys. All right.
That's all right.
Thank
Thank you very
you.
much,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Good luck.
The defendant.
You guys, I'm sorry the weather's been bad. You guys, I love him. I love him. You guys, I love him. So mainstream media would hate him if I love him. Oh gosh. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. It's this is crazy. We're gonna have to go in person to see him because Pennsylvania does not allow cameras in their courtroom, and so blah 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 blah. So let's see. What do we got here? Okay. Again, this is whatever crap you guys were looking at before, but let's listen to this manifesto. I'll have more to say on this later on how unhealthy the media's drift away from public disclosure is. But for now, here's the manifesto. Ready? To the feds. I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country. To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial. Some elementary social engineering, basic CAD, a lot of patience. The spiral notebook, if present, has some straggling notes and to-do lists that illuminate the gist of it. My tech is pretty locked down because I work in engineering, so probably not much info there. I do apologize for any strife of traumas, but it had to be done. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. A reminder, the US has the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly number 42 in life expectancy. United is the indecipherable largest company in the United States by market cap, behind only Apple, Google, and Walmart. It has grown and grown, but has our life expectancy? No, the reality is this indecipherable have simply gotten too powerful, and they continue to abuse our country for immense profit because the American public has allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem is more complex, but I do not have space, and frankly, I do not pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the full argument. But many have eliminated the corruption and greed, Rosenthal and more, decades ago, and the problems simply remain. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play. Evidently, I am the first to face it with such brutal honesty. Now, so there is that. This is allegedly handwritten found on him. You guys, I have such a problem with these photos at McDonald's. I'm sorry, but damn, they must have done some serious enhancing for all of us to see what we saw while the manhunt was, was on. Here we go. Listen to this. Oh boy, hold on one second. Go to settings.
You're kidding, right? You've been on this.
Sir, your client said something to reporters as he was walking in about this being an insult to the American people.
Hold on one second. I want to do this other one. Again, good evening, everybody. Welcome. Those of you guys that are up late, come on in here, snuggle up, grab a brew. need to grab some wine. Fireball for all. I just can't believe that somebody saw him and was like, "Yep, that looks like the killer," and they just, here we go. I just wouldn't think that it looks like him, So, all right, here.
A request that you made though about informing the corrections department about something, and I didn't understand what you were asking. You were saying
I don't really. Oh no, I think all I asked was the sheriffs to keep my client around for a little bit so I could talk.
And what did you discuss?
Well, I'm not going to tell you that. You're kidding, right? You've been on this.
Sir, your client said something to reporters as he was walking in about this being an insult to the American people.
I'm not gonna tell you. I mean, what kind of question is that? What did you guys discuss? Do you guys understand that's client attorney privilege, right? Like, have these people never interviewed an attorney before? Unbelievable.
People, do you have any comment on that?
I have to take a look at that. No, I don't have any comment on that. I just know that I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on something I haven't seen or heard.
Any comment on the outpouring of support there's been for him online?
No, I mean, people are entitled to their opinion, and like I said, if you're an American, you believe in the American criminal justice system, you have to presume him to be innocent, and none of us would want anything other than that if that were us in those shoes. And so I'm glad he has some support.
Mr. Dick, you just said a moment ago that that's what lawyers do when telling their clients to be quiet. What did you mean by that?
Oh no, I mean, because I'm going to do all the talking. It's you have the right to remain silent, and I believe in that right.
All right. And you are Thomas, Thomas?
Thomas, yes, middle initial MDICKUR.
You still plan to hold a press conference later today?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm sorry. You know what? I haven't received anything. I got paperwork, and I want to meet with the district attorney, and we'll have hearings. We'll be able to see all that, but I haven't seen anything.
Are you, as a human being, aware of what happened in New York over the last week? Are you aware of this?
Are you? Wait, what? Wait, listen to this question. Listen to this.
Are you, as a human being, aware of what happened?
You, as a human being, what am I, an alien? Am I a dog? You, as a human being, are you like what the? Who are these? I'm sorry, but who are these people that are asking these questions?
We'll have hearings. We'll be able to see all that, but I haven't seen anything.
Are you, as a human being, aware of what happened in New York over the last week? Are you aware of this before you were retained?
I mean, I don't have a whole lot of time to follow the news. I, of course, knew of it, but I don't follow a lot of things sometimes in the news because sometimes the press gets things wrong. Like I said, I was very irritated, getting some backlash already that some news agency had indicated we waived the arraignment. We waived the extradition. And that's what irritates lawyers like me is if you're going to print it, get it right.
Do you find it surreal that you're now representing the guy they've been looking for?
Yeah, I don't know. No.
Is this the biggest case you've ever been on?
Yeah, they're all big. All my clients, whether it's a speeding ticket or whether it's a death penalty case, which I am qualified to do death penalty cases in Pennsylvania, so they're all big. All my clients are equally important to me.
Can you just explain to regular folks like what's going to happen, the timeline from now?
Yeah, like I said, probably something maybe in about the next month. Like I said, there's the judge set some motions, some deadlines, and they're going to have to come up with some things. We're going to have to come up with some things, and we're going to move forward with that. So, just kind of pay attention to that.
Right. It seemed like on the bench you guys were sharing a little laugh. Like, have you formed a little friendship with him?
Sharing on the bench? What do you mean?
Like when you were sitting up there at the table, you were kind of have you formed a friendship with him?
Yeah, I mean he's my client, and
oh my God, have you formed a friendship with him? Oh my God. And so you guys were sharing a laugh up there. Did you form a friendship with him? Who do these people are to ask these type of questions to this man? I would take that microphone and shove it up that woman's fucking ass.
I want them to have trust and faith.
Oops, just knock it out of her hand. Oops, get your little pea pot out of here.
Faith in me, and I have trust and faith in them. And yeah, I mean, we're human beings, and we have a relationship.
Is he going to have a trust in the system?
Is he gonna have a trust in the system?
Well, I'm trying to, that's why I talk about presumption of innocence, things like that. I'm hoping to instill that trust in the system with it. Again, I can't comment any further on that.
Do you have any concern about his health, mental health? You have to reach out to explore.
Yeah, I won't comment on that. That doesn't mean I do or I don't, but I just.
Thank you, sir.
I cannot block here.
You're very welcome, folks. Thank you. Nothing, just an attorney-client relationship. You know what I mean? And that's what we do. We try to form a bond.
Your name again, one more time, sir?
Thomas, Thomas, middle initial M as in Mark, Dickey, Dickey.
And were you retained by them or?
I'm not court appointed. I was retained. That's all. That's all.
Are you local? Where are you coming from?
I'm my main office is in Altoona.
And you have anything that you can share about your conversations with them? Or mind or anything?
No, I don't.
What do you have to say?
Thank you, sir.
Pardon me?
What is the statement?
I didn't give a statement. Now you answer questions. I can't remember everyone.
Can you just, for those of us who didn't go in there, sir, what happened today?
Well, what happened today is he could have there was a extradition proceeding. We did not NOT. Add that on there, okay? Because if you're reporting that earlier that we did, that did not happen. We did not waive extradition. We're contesting extradition. We're going to fight this along the rules and with the constitutional protections that my client has, and that's what we're going to do.
How's his family
Why he
doing?
doesn't want to
I'm not going to
Did you
comment.
say why he didn't want to waive extradition or?
No, that's an attorney-client communication, and
Who
So I'm
retained
not
you?
gonna
Is it family?
I'm not going to get into
How
that.
is he doing? Have you talked to him about his
Uh,
last 24
You-
hours?
He's
you
eating
guys know
McDonald's.
I'm here as a lawyer, and that's what I
And,
was.
and what's next, sir?
The extradition proceeding, this process is going to move forward, and so I'm anxious to be looking at information.
Is there a new court date? Another court date?
Not yet. Yes, sir.
Who do you like in the Pens game tonight?
Hopefully, for just to answer that one, because I don't play favorites. Let's see if the Pens cannot blow a lead. Hopefully, they'll win.
What about Penn State?
What about Penn State? Oh my God, you guys! They asked him if he thought the Pens would win tonight. Are you kidding me? This is amazing. They're like, this is, if this isn't a circus, I mean, I don't know what is. Look at that man's haircut right there, right here, and I'm digging it. Okay.
State.
We're Penn State fan. I hope they can do better than they did the other night.
Is he filing a habeas corpus petition?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, can you spell your name?
Yes. Thomas, middle initial M, Dickey.
And you're the attorney for Luigi.
Yes, sir, I am. Okay.
Sir.
Thank you,
Thank
folks.
you.
I appreciate.
Look at them brows. I'm telling you what, Pennsylvania just be pumping the brows. But this, I mean, Luigi, that's an Italian thing. So there he is. Look at my boy Dicky. Dicky Doo.
You know a lot of questions. I appreciate the way you handled me.
Oh, somebody just handed him his card. She's like, I want to do all of your organizing with your files.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
I mean, to work on a timeline on the case in New York, tell me that wouldn't be an experience. I think that'd be a pretty sweet experience. Very interested in how they put their case together in New York, because it took them to Atlanta. It took them to a name that it was not. I believe by all accounts here, Luigi is telling us that that the money was planted on him, and what else? What do we think? You know, is he the killer, or was he just at, the hostel? Was he not at the hostel? I mean, ooh. Now, let's see what Ashley Banfield thinks about good old Dicky Doo here. I'm a fan. I'm giving him a solid 10 right now. I mean, if you're just like down to earth and you want no bullshit, and yeah, I mean, I'm trying to build trust in my client. Like, we're busting balls. I want him to trust me, and like, let's go. So when's the last time you ever heard that in a press conference, right? Kmart was like 11, so anybody that's not a fan of him, yeah. We don't get to see anything in Pennsylvania either. I want him to stay in PA as long as possible. We don't get to see anything in New York. Well, no cameras in PA. I had the privilege of being in Sheldon's trial, and you will have to get on down to the courthouse, get your butt in there. So, and listening to the mainstream media people talk about what they, how they saw it while they were in there, just gagged me right there. I can't even. So does he got coke now? What? He deserves one if not. Nancy did Nancy Grace do it? Let's see. So let's take a look. Oh God, Nancy. God, I think I'd fall. I don't know if I can deal with her. She's just. Ugh. Let's see. I thought Ashley did one. Nancy Grace. Okay, let's see if I can take any.
A ghost gun, a silencer, multiple fake IDs, and a handwritten manifesto attacking the healthcare industry. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us.
This morning at 6:46 a.m., patrol officers from Midtown North Precinct responded to a 911 call of a person shot.
It appears a suspect was lying in wait for several.
Like the health boss assassin, probably trying to use a fake ID in a McDonald's, according to law enforcement and the New York Post. The man being eyed for the cold-blooded execution of Brian Thompson. The guy has a gun, a silencer, 4 fake IDs, and other items consistent with what LE was looking for in the case. But is it him? Does he match this description? According to a McDonald's employee, he does. What else do we know? Where is Altoona, Pennsylvania?
According to a McDonald's employee, he does.
Western Pennsylvania, 280 miles away from Manhattan, a little over a 5-hour drive. But the manhunt across the nation, going in every direction from Manhattan, divers, drones, you name it, all used, employed to find the killer of the healthcare boss. What led
Okay, like
to
right there. Do we think that it looks like him? Does that look like him? Is it him? I'm trying to see his hands. You know what I mean? What do you guys think? Is it him? No, Nancy Grace. Guys, I sped her up on 1.5. I'm trying to see like right there. I mean,
the detainment of this guy? We also
right there. Is it him?
understand that in his possession is a New Jersey ID, a fake ID, possibly used to check into that Manhattan hostel. In the last hours, police press conference. Listen.
A man was taken into custody today.
Attacking the healthcare industry sounds like our guy. But what else led to this detainment in Pennsylvania? Hey, Dr. Bethany Marshall joining us, our now psychoanalyst out of LA, author of Deal Breaker. You can see her on Peacock now. Dr. Bethany, the theory that the assassin meant to scatter toy monopoly money over the dead body, that tells me a lot about him. He's got a lot of time sitting in somebody's basement thinking and plotting. It almost rules out a day job in my.
Wait a second. She's saying that he planned to put monopoly money over the dead body. Is that what she just said? That was the plan? Where was this? Wait, where did this come from? That's an interesting plan.
To scatter toy monopoly money over the dead body. That tells me a lot about him. He's got a lot of time sitting in somebody's basement thinking and plotting.
Wait, is this new? Is this new? They plan to scatter the money over the body?
It almost rules out a day job in my mind. But that said, we know he's a white male. We know he's got money, and a guy that can fund himself cash-wise for nearly 2 weeks in Manhattan. We also know that while he may have meant to scatter fake monopoly money all over the dead body, sending a message as if the 9mm bullet didn't do that, he didn't leave the money behind, but he did leave behind a water bottle with DNA and fingerprints on it. He left
Okay.
behind a candy or bar wrapper. He left behind a burner phone. If they can break into that burner phone, that is going to be a tremendous source of evidence. But he forgot to strew the money.
Nancy,
What?
he forgot it. This guy is obsessional. In the crime world, you may say
He forgot to wait. They're saying that he forgot to put the money over the body.
methodical. I say obsessional, meaning he has been thinking about this for a long, long time. When I have a patient like this come into my Beverly Hills office, they usually are enraged at one person, and that is all they can talk about. What they would like to do, what the person's look on their face would be like. You know, Nancy, with obsessional paranoia, the person sort of alleviates their rage
This is
by
unbelievable.
constantly thinking about inflicting harm on the victim. But I also think, although he obsessed about this and planned it out, this was his first crime. He did not think about what it would be like to drop a candy wrapper, drop the water bottle. He didn't have time to plan he didn't have time to scatter the Monopoly money. This was all in his head. He had never practiced.
What in the world? Where did this come out? You guys, where are they just making this up? Where did he ever say that he planned to scatter the Monopoly money over his body? Like, do you see how they just fucking make this shit up? This has been said nowhere ever in any. Where does this come from? I but she can say stuff like that on her show. Oh boy.
Just before.
Hey, you know what? Back to you, Tom Smith, former NYPD, knows this area like the back of his hand. Tom, the burner, the cell phone. I mean, there's an outside chance it's his actual cell phone, but the reports we're reading is it's a burner phone. Lauren Conlon, yes, no, burner phone, actual phone.
Burner phone, Nancy.
Oh, guys, look at this video again. This is surveillance video obtained by ABC and Fox from Gideon Platt of Stage Star Deli. This guy's on video all over town. But Tom Smith, what I'm coming to you about is the phone. What an idiot. I think Bethany's right. This may be his first time at the rodeo. And, you know, like, let me think of a good one. Robert Blake, remember when he and his henchmen got bodyguards got together and murdered Bonnie Lee Bakley? And they had this.
Wait, but Nancy, none of the police in any of their work in this case didn't catch him. Like, we understand that, right? Like, the police didn't catch this man. Allegedly, supposedly, a customer came into a McDonald's, saw this person, thought that he looked suspicious, like he was the NYC CEO killer. Then this person that was a customer says, you know what, I'm going to tell the McDonald's employee about it because I don't want $60K. Absurd, right? Nobody wants to talk about that because that's just damn absurd.
Extensive to-do list. Very often you can catch the perp because of their to-do list and they're over planning, right? But the burner phone, they're really hard to break into. Do you remember in the Alex Murdaugh trial, they had to bring in the Secret Service to crack his phone?
Yeah, and I agree with Lauren. It's a burner phone. And who knows what's on there? Yeah, he could just use it for simple things. Again, if he plans it out and knows burner phones and what's
thanks,
for,
Julie. I'm planning it right
there may not be a
now.
lot on there, but the ability to break in there might not be that difficult because of the low technology that burner phones usually are and the limited amount of information that'll be on there.
Guys, we are showing you all the surveillance video, all the pictures that we've got so far. Look. Here he comes talking on the phone.
Okay, see the shoes. What kind of shoes did he have on? Did he have those shoes on? We know those aren't the clothes, right?
Just before the murder. Hey, Dr. Bethany Marshall, and I'm going to follow up with renowned defense attorney Jason Oceans. Dr. Bethany, he's not worried. Look at him. He has practiced this over and over and over. He has been watching the victim like a hawk from the moment the victim got into town. This guy knows the itinerary.
Do you understand that none of that has been, in fact, the opposite has been said at the press conference? The opposite of what she just said there has been said at the press conference. That he's been watching him like a hawk ever since the victim got into New York. That's actually the opposite of what was said at the press conference. The press conference, it was said that these two never, the killer and Brian never crossed paths.
Heart. He knew that there was a breakfast. He knew that that started at 8 o'clock. He knew that the victim was going over ahead of time from the Hilton over to the executive forum where he was set to speak that morning. Oh, by the way, the surveillance we were just showing you is from ABC, and they got it from Patrick Laborde. Now, all of this surveillance video is from individuals and businesses along the trek. Check it out. By the way, there's a reward right now for information leading to the arrest. So what I'm getting at, Dr. Bethany, this guy's cold, cool, and calculated.
This is definitely cold-blooded and methodical, to use the panel's term. Nancy, there's one thing this guy forgot to.
Wow. Nancy, I can't even deal with you. I can't even. Looks like he's wearing penny loafers. All right. I that's enough of Nancy. Nancy, adios. See you later. Next up, for who can we glance at now? That would be let's go with, I'll go with them. Let's see, News Nation. Their 38-minute update that they just had a minute ago. Let's see.
All about his purported situation. Doctor, thanks so much for being on. I know that you've seen that image of the x-ray. It just looks scary to me, but what is it that you see when you see this x-ray?
So first of all, thank you for having me on. Assuming that this is Luigi's x-ray, first of all, we only see one image, so it's hard to tell too much about this. But we can tell a few things. First of all, there is a condition called spondylolisthesis, and that's basically where one vertebrae is slipped forward on another vertebrae. That could cause severe back pain, severe leg pain, and that is usually fixed with what he had here, which is called a spinal fusion procedure. That's a surgery where screws are placed in the spine to stabilize the spine and to bring the spine back to the alignment that it's supposed to be in. So it looks like this patient had...
Did pain drive Luigi to murder? Oh my God.
A spinal fusion procedure for spondylolisthesis. In general, that's a very successful operation, but in this case, we don't know how successful it was for him.
Okay.
And just to be really clear, this came from an account that is believed to be Luigi Mangione's ex account, and it was posted.
And just like, how many things did you guys get wrong in the Brian Kohlberger case? That's what I thought. Okay. What else do we got here?
Right, but we can't be 100% sure. But he did say to his roommates in Hawaii that his condition, quote, locks up his hips and back and causes numbness. Does that comport?
My neck, my back.
With the image that you saw?
Sure. And again, I'm not sure if he's talking about before the surgery or after the surgery, but either way, having a condition like this and recovering from the surgery can certainly cause locking up of the hips and the back, numbness, tingling, and can cause compression of the nerves and symptoms related to back pain and leg pain.
Can you explain what all those things are that I'm looking at? I'm just sort of fascinated because I want to say they're screws, but it just seems that they're so incredibly long.
So those are titanium screws. We call those pedicle screws. And those are screws that are placed into the spine, and they're very strong, and they hold the spine in place. The spine, obviously, is the basic structure of the whole body. So you need really strong and large screws to realign things and to hold the bones while they fuse together. So those screws are placed in the spine while the bones are knitting or fusing together. It
looks like you could put Thanksgiving dinner on that ass.
Placed for a spinal fusion operation. So we see 4 screws there. They look a little bit, the alignment doesn't look perfect, but it's hard to tell for sure if those are correctly placed or not correctly placed.
Tells pals intimacy is impossible.
It's based on just one x-ray. And then we can see in the back that there is a rod, there's actually 2 rods connecting those screws together. So that's the spinal fusion operation, trying to connect one vertebrae to another vertebrae and to stabilize an unstable area.
So what's interesting is that Luigi Mangione told his roommate that his pain was so bad he couldn't even be intimate. But if he's the same person who's seen on video, didn't seem to have any problem making his way from a sidewalk execution onto an e-bike and traveling for 5 days and eluding, the police and running with a backpack, does it sound like someone who's suffering that badly could do that?
So first of all, not only does it not sound like that, but just watching him on these videos, watching him being brought into the police station earlier, the video that you showed before when he was being very aggressive. In general, someone who's having severe back pain or severe post-surgical pain would not be so aggressive, so physically aggressive. I didn't see any evidence that he was limping or showed any signs that he was in severe pain.
Thanks for watching. Go to join.
Oh my God, you guys. Wow. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. tells his roommates that he cannot be intimate. There's no forget intimacy because this back. Well, get a blowjob. Good evening, everybody. Great insight, News Nation. I'm sorry. You guys, he's riding a bike around town. He's, I don't know. He's sitting in those damn Greyhounds. To hell. Jeez. Okay. Thank you. Again, welcome to Truth and Transparency. Good evening, everybody. Mama Steph. Hello, my favorite creator on YouTube. Boom. 19 months, baby girl. Shake it. Kay Miller turned a bunch of people green. Make sure you guys think she's bomb. Love how she's got to be loving this. We know Kay Miller loves herself some eyebrows for days. Oh, Carson Hockey's mom over there. Let's help Lana reach her goal. Liz, love me a late night with your ass too. Let's see. Oh, William, what do you do? What are you up to? And then Bobby Prince, welcome, new member. Yeah. You know you jam into them brows. We know. Tomorrow, guys, Brian Kober is back in the courtroom, so we'll be here live with the Brian Kober live stream. I believe that the hearing is going to be about whether this whole take on, Mathis put in that, we're not taking on the whole Attorney General's office. So we're going to talk about this, who's prosecuting this case. That's what I think that's about. So, back to, damn, I'm loving this lawyer. I'm loving. People can say, I'm loving it. And it's not going to be live. It's via Zoom and closed. Who said that? We are going to steal that Zoom link. Okay. We are going to steal that Zoom link. Closed, and closed. No wonder why we haven't gotten any of our documents, huh, guys? Always trying to keep us off the goods. Those documents are like crack cocaine over here. Hey, did you get those documents? Oh, let's see. Get a little dose of this. Trying to mix it up with I don't see it, guys. I don't see how that dude would be eating at the McDonald's and I'd be like, I need to call in.
Videos. Inmates talk to their lawyers. They talk to the people that are in healthcare, medical. They know that he is there. And I want to say they are supporting him. He's going to be in isolation the whole time that he's there. And then once he hits New York, hits Rikers Island, he's going to be in isolation there. And we all know what a hellhole Rikers Island is. So his whole life, social structure, everything has changed. This guy doesn't have access to the telephone, not in isolation, doesn't have access to a computer. He's eating lousy food, Merry Christmas, Luigi, you're going to get a crappy meal. But his whole daily life and routine right now is going to be wrapped around going to court. And eventually they will. Yeah.
This business of transferring him, we were showing the video of him earlier. He got out of the car pretty quietly and looked at the press quietly, and then just in an instant turned into someone who was so aggressive, and he had to be manhandled. Like, look at the way these guys grab him and get him into the courthouse. Like, how is that going to fly behind bars?
He's 26 years old. I spoke to my friend Lynn Espejo, who did federal time, and she's a psychologist, and she told me that at 26 years old, that's when schizophrenia kicks in. So this guy's like living in la la land, or maybe he's shifting personalities and such. So he's going to be a problem the whole time he's there. He may not even know where he's at, who he's talking to. He may not even remember or know that he killed this guy.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com.
He might not remember that he killed some guy 5 days ago. Oh, God, what is going on? Okay, so the latest. So his mom allegedly filed a missing persons report for him on November 18th. And I think that's interesting. What is up, candidate? What is good? Yeah, I just laugh. I laugh at this. I don't even know what. I just want to know how he truly knew where Brian Thompson was staying and what hotel. Okay. You tell me that, and you tell me that he worked alone and how he was able to do all that, and why when Brian Thompson's getting death threats and bomb threats, and that he would not be really, really careful with, where he's staying and things like that. How did he figure that out? So, and then why haven't we seen the other angle of this? Let's take a look at something really quick. This is just, and then I'm gonna be rounding this out. Let's take a look at that angle of the, we see the shot, but everything is from the back. Like we don't see Brian, his face. We just see everything from the back. Where's the cameras that are on those little circle things that are up in, the little, I don't know, awning? Like they're right there. Like where's the other camera angles? I don't get it. If they say that they don't have that camera angle, I'm done. Free, innocent. Let them go. Hey, Sherry D, 26 years old, schizophrenia sets in, probably doesn't remember the shooting. Perfect defense. This is what they're saying on channels. And they think I would bring down their ratings. Ugh. Yeah, where's the woman that witnessed it, right? She and her coffee doing whatever she was doing. What about the two black dudes that said that this person was out there all night? What about all these multiple cameras that have like clashing info? So ooh. Where is the bike he was riding? Chris Harder says. Why would we ask such a fucking common sense question like that, Chris? Okay. Mm-mm-mm. You know who I think is going to be a witness now? Can I get a witness? Come on, the people at the hostel. Okay. His little roomies for all those days. The girl that was flirting with him. And she's like, can you please just remove your mask? And she's like, oh my God, that's totally not the guy I saw. Like, that's totally not him. Hey, can you talk for me? No, I have the right to remain silent. Silent, biatch. Is that the guy that you were talking to and eating meals with? Like, what are we doing here? Let's see. There you go. His hair just seems, you guys, like, okay, look at this fro. The picture where he has the jacket over the other jacket when he was just brought in with no beanie on from McDonald's, allegedly, right? No beanie from McDonald's. You guys know what picture I'm talking about. His hair goes from like being just like wavy to just like it's like a fro. Anybody notice this? Oh, it's just wild. Let me see if I can see that. I'll show you what picture I'm talking about. I think I sent it to my email so I could just pull it up. We'll go like this. I don't. my like emails like Luigi. Let's go with yeah. There we go. Right here. Okay. I want to use this picture. Okay, see, 1, 2, 3. I marked these items. Do you guys see his hair? Okay. It's like what the hell happened here? It's like it became all of a sudden I don't know. Maybe he's not showering or something. But yeah, where's this? And then he took another picture and he was just so he had this on, this jacket, then this mask that he's like, I just bought that. Does look relatively like fresh. And then see how he doesn't have with this photo. Where's his two jackets, the mask, the surgical mask? I mean, where's the beanie? Where's the beanie that he had on when he was eating at the McDonald's? I don't know. He gave it to Officer Fry to wear. Look at Officer Fry. I think Officer Fry is at this one. You know, see right here? So they give us a picture where he doesn't have shoes on. Like, let's see if he's got those Nikes on with like the brown or the white bottoms. Looks like he pissed himself. Okay. And like, did he take this himself? No. I don't know. I just got so many questions. Like, why would he not have his clothes with him anymore? Since when does anybody take over forgery or falsification or gun charges that we're going to take your jackets? We're going to take your black mask. I mean, how did they obtain search warrants that you can just, we're going to seize these items? Where did they go? So they're in evidence in Pennsylvania for what, like for what would be the probable cause? For how is that in connection with the case of the falsification of an ID? Love this, Lana. Thank you. Oh, love all the way around. Why is he wet in his pants? I don't know. I thought, you know, and you think that a guy is going to be scared when you come up to him and say like, hey, can you remove your mask? Were you in New York City? Starts shaking and convulsing. I mean, who believes this shit, man? Sherry says, nostril expert needed to compare that picture. I don't know. I just hope they have this DNA and this, that, and the other. And, you know, because they have a different name. Remember, the mayor's like, we have a name, we're not releasing it. Right? We have a name, we're not releasing it. Then somebody from Pennsylvania says, yo, and then the mayor has to eat his words. And they're like, yeah, we didn't have this name. It's like, what name did you have? Because I want to know what name you had. I want to know how bad that IgG worked out for you. I want to know about that name. I'm changing my name to Dickie Doo. I would totally change your name to Dickie Doo. Just super, super. Mm-mm-mm. Are you allowed to wear shoes back in that holding cell? They take your shoes from you? Yeah, cool after the shooting and shaking after asking you if you've been in New York City lately. Like, what? I just like I'm sorry, but I don't believe that. I also don't believe how they say that they found him. Because let's say this is him and everything. I don't believe how they say that. They just this random customer tells the McDonald's employee to call the police because they don't want to collect the 60,000. So I'm going to tell this person that I think this guy is suspicious and looks at the CEO shooter, right? I'm going to go tell a McDonald's employee who would be like, "Excuse me, I'm in the middle of my work shift. You want me to call?" Yeah, just get the police up here. Guys, come on. Why wouldn't that customer want the 60 G's for themselves? They would. Oh, we're trying to get that call. We be trying. We be stroking. I'm just saying, wouldn't you want the money? If you've been following this case, you would know that there was $10,000 and the FBI threw in 50, so it was $60,000. $60,000. Let me just tell this McDonald's staffer here, who literally did not notice it themselves. Like, yeah, I don't know. Anyways. I just love the fact that he got this dude that's his attorney. This guy's gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna talk to the press. Hey guys, how you doing? Oh, I can't tell you about that though. Yeah, how about that question? Can't really talk about that, but like he's just busting balls with the. How do we know that Luigi wasn't saying like, "Hey, I want you to talk to the press and I want you to bust balls with them"? Who knows? Okay. And let's see. I want to see the thing that someone's talking about with the. Yeah, this one. Okay. I don't normally watch this guy. I have a hard time, but when I watch this person and we are totally opposite on cases, I know that I'm right then. So let's see what he thinks. Here we go.
Today, I will offer an update on the case of Brian Thompson, including the arrest of Luigi Mangione. First, I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the crime, then offer my analysis. Luigi Nicholas Mangione was born on May 6, 1998, and was raised in Towson, Maryland. His grandfather, Nicholas, was a wealthy real estate developer who owned several valuable assets, including country clubs and retirement homes. Nicholas died. View, this is paraphrased. It's easy to dismiss the manifesto as the writings of a person with mental illness in order to avoid facing uncomfortable problems identified by the work. Ted Kaczynski, Montana. Luigi lived in a co-living community. Until the men were arrested for murder, they had no significant criminal history, and both men blamed certain trends in society for their own problems. Ted was worried about living peacefully in an era of technological expansion, and Luigi was angry that his back hurt even after medical treatment. Item number 4, Luigi had an interest in books about alternative medicine, psychedelics, and recovering from chronic conditions. For example, he was interested in reading a book titled Crooked, Outwitting the Back Pain Industry and Getting on the Road to Recovery, and a book with the title Why We Get Sick, the Hidden Epidemic at the Root of Most Chronic Disease and How to Fight It. Not surprisingly, many of those who promote alternative remedies also express a distrust for physicians and traditional healthcare methodology. In various social media posts, Luigi made it clear that he shared those views. Item number 5. Luigi's political beliefs were expressed in a few social media posts. He appeared to be displeased with both Republicans and Democrats. Donald Trump offended him because he refused to accept the results of the election. Luigi didn't like Joe Biden either because he refused to accept the effects of aging. He viewed both men as desperate to hold on to power. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is who Luigi recommended. Item number 6. Running under the assumption that the state of New York charged the right man, what do I believe motivated Luigi Mangione to kill Brian Thompson? This case is still in its early stages, so it's difficult to tell. People described Luigi as pretty normal, not introverted or extroverted. He was friendly, productive, and likable. He was not described as socially awkward or isolated, and never gave people the impression that he held extreme political views. Usually, in a case like this, I would expect to hear about how the alleged perpetrator was creepy, aggressive, a loner, possessed dark fantasies, was fascinated with destruction, things like that. Luigi doesn't fit any of those descriptions. If he experienced some type of mental health episode, it must have had a rapid onset, or he was very good about keeping the symptoms concealed. Furthermore, it is strange that the episode facilitated criminal behavior, but it did not dramatically diminish Luigi's organizational skills. He was able to develop and execute a complex plot, which involved traveling to Manhattan and then escaping. It's worth considering, however, that Luigi did make several mistakes consistent with being disorganized, like keeping the weapon, the ammunition, and fake identification. He also wrote a manifesto, which can function pretty well as a confession. Another unusual aspect of this case is how Luigi appeared to have both personal and ideological motives. His chronic pain left him angry at physicians, but he also developed a wider hatred of the healthcare system. When people attempt to explain their problems, they can attribute the difficulties narrowly or broadly. On the narrow side, they describe specific circumstances that led to their difficulties, like being victimized by a person who is incompetent. An example would be a student who receives a failing grade on a math test because the teacher made a mistake when grading. If they look at the problem broadly, they focus on systemic issues, like the inefficiency of government. Using this way of thinking is a mystery at this point. Now moving to my final thoughts. It's possible that Luigi is going to use the defense based on mental health. It might be his only hope. If he does, he may want to consider the fate of his hero, Ted Kaczynski. Ted suffered from schizophrenia, yet resisted any effort to mount a defense based on insanity. He insisted that he was fine as far as his mental health. Ultimately, Ted pleaded guilty to all charges.
Oh, God. So somebody that could carry out that type of a plan and do all these things. And I mean, I can't believe that he thinks that that's the gun. Okay. All right. What do you guys think? I'm going to put all my money right here. The Unabomber fan arrested at McDonald's after CEO murder in Manhattan. Please. 12 of his peers will decide. All right, guys. We're going to round this out. Aging at much of a young age, he could have had that from back injury or it happened during surgery. This and pain and huge medical bills and the unjustifiable. See, but isn't it weird that to think that if he was so, I don't know, well off to do with money, that he doesn't care that healthcare is just, unaffordable? Doesn't come like. Do you not get the impression? I don't think that he's entitled, or do you get that? Like, I mean, he wanted to be off on his own. He's staying in these I don't know. I think he could probably live like a plush life with mommy and daddy, and I just don't see that. So, Sherry, baby, Sherry for Midnight Oil. Sherry sent me Cash App and said, for Midnight Oil, Sherry, are you drinking Grandpa's cough syrup tonight? Because I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I still think one of my favorite memes in this case is the Burger King sandwich saying just like, we don't snitch. And that's their slogan. We don't snitch over here. I don't know. Something just doesn't sit well with me right now. Again, this is how he knew. Okay, first of all, why Brian Thompson was the target, why he picked him. And then how he knew where Brian Thompson was going to be in terms of where he was spending, his hotel. And yeah. And that he clearly had this all planned out according to them, but let's keep the gun and what else? Just all that other shit. Come on now. I just don't buy it. I think something's off. Thank you there, Carson. Hockey's mom. Ding, ding, ding. Hit the thumbs on your way up. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. We'll see you on the flip side. Good night. Thank you to all of our super chatters, super stickers, members, subscribers, lurkers. Thank you, moderators. See you guys tomorrow. Good night.